Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is December 2nd, 2015. The mainstream media is reporting yet another active shooting. This comes just 5 days after the Planned Parenthood shooting hoax, which was well covered on this video blog. What people need to wake up to is why this is being done to us. Since September 11th, our government has actively been building a military state with legislation and changes in funding. Look at the imagery here. The police are beginning to look more like the military. That is not the army you are looking at. That is the San Bernardino Police Department in army fatigues. At the end of 2011, on New Year's Eve, President Obama signed the National Defense Authorization Act, which made the United States an active battleground in the war on terrorism, where anyone can be detained if suspected of being a terrorist. These changes to our legal system have totally made the country something it was not for those of us who grew up before post 9/11. We have lost our rights. We have lost our liberties. And these stories are helping build the mindset so that people will accept it. The point is to scare the masses so they give up their rights and they say, yes, Mr. Government, yes, Mr. Policeman, do whatever you want to keep me safe. That is the agenda. That's why they scare us with these hoaxes that are planned drills presented as something other than what they truly are. Right now, the mainstream media is saying 12 people have been killed, another 20 people injured. We'll see how these numbers change by the end. They have not released the names of the victims. They're saying there's 1 to 3 shooters. We'll see by the end. I imagine it'll just be one person. These are common themes we see in these ongoing hoaxes. Cloudy details. Oftentimes they say there's multiple shooters, then it turns out to be just one. It's all signs that it's bullshit. Here's what you should know, Truth Seeker. We're currently living in the time of the 114th Congress. The 114th Congress has actively been debating gun control legislation. There's proposals such as outlawing everything except for hunting rifles, which has been done in the UK. If you haven't seen my video series on all the shootings and the same numbers coded again and again into them, please check that out. I showed how in the UK in the 80s and 90s they had shooting hoaxes just like this, all by the same numbers, and then they made gun control changes. The same thing will eventually happen here in the United States. And the reason the tyrants want to do this is not to keep us safe from madmen and lone gunmen and lone wolves, as they're calling them. It's because they want to disarm the populace so that we can't fight back against the tyrants at all. It's already late in the game and it's hard enough to fight back against the tyrants. They're just trying to put on the finishing moves so that we are completely enslaved with no way to do anything about it. That's why I'm so desperate to get out the message and wake people up, and that's why I've given up the last 2 years of my life to preach nothing but truth to power before there's no time left to do it. So anyhow, San Bernardino has gematria of 114. We're in the time of the 114th Congress. This is a number often connected to tragedy. World War equals 114. Pearl Harbor equals 114. Holocaust equals 114. With regards to Holocaust, it's blamed on Hitler, who has a gematria of 222 himself. We've been seeing a lot of 222 in shooting hoaxes lately, including the one in Paris, France, which was by a similar set of numbers. Remember, the agenda I'm talking about, it's not just relevant to the United States, it's relevant to the world. This is an international agenda. The New World Order is an old world order. The United States was built from the New World Order. Anytime you hear anybody saying the New World Order is coming, that's someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. Because it's not coming, it's already here. It's been here. It's older than this nation. It's an order that gains strength each and every day because of our silence. With regards to 114, what else is interesting is San Bernardino's birthday is August 10th. It's exactly 114 days from the city's birthday until today, or a span of 3 months and 22 days. 322, the number of skull and bones, the Masonic order. Remember, it is the Freemasons who control the police. San Bernardino's birthday, they're currently 146 years old, approaching their 147th year. Little interesting side note, it's named after Bernardino of Siena, which has gematria of 88, just like California. Lots of little intricacies like this in many cities. Why? Because most cities, most things done in this nation have been done by the Freemasons. The Freemasons, very much part of the New World Order. This shooting, here are the signs of the hoax, truth seeker. This is how I know without a doubt it's a hoax. The streets reported where the shooting happened at. Here it is in the reporting. Active shooter in the area of Orange Show Road and Waterman Avenue near Park Center. This is all I need to know that it's a hoax. How do I know this? Because I've been reporting, documenting, decoding this, how they do this for 2 years, and they continue to code the same numbers. Orange Show Road has gematria of 147, just like the word police. Remember the story of Joe Gliniewicz, the police officer who was reported killed, then the next day it was reported he had committed suicide? His name had this gematria. Another hoax. Orange Show Road has gematria of 66, a number connected to 33. The city is also known as the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, having this gematria of 66, a number that shows up, one of these multiples of 11. Also, just with regards to the word orange alone, it's a number that is so often connected to the hoaxes. Notice that orange has a gematria of 33 and 60, identical to the word police. And for anyone who's been arrested by the police and spent some time in jail, you are likely wearing orange fatigues, or black and white stripes with orange sandals and an orange bath towel. There's a reason for all this. It is a Masonic code, something these people abide by. That's why they code the same shit into all of these hoaxes, because this is a Freemason thing, and they do it out of complete arrogance, expecting that no one can read their language. The shooting happened at Waterman Avenue. It happened at Orange Show Road and Waterman Avenue. Waterman Avenue has gematria of 42, just like Freemason. Again, it's the Freemasons who control the police. Waterman Avenue, the big way, is 123, just like the word conspiracy. Broken record, these people. Also, Truth Seeker, with regards to today's date, December 2nd, 2015, 12/2 is a number we see show up a lot in decoding tragedies as well. The word Freemason, with the Francis Bacon method, sums to 122. This is where you take the capital letter and you add on an additional 26, because lowercase a through z are worth 1 through 26. Uppercase a through z are worth 27 through 52. Uppercase F is 32 in this system. Freemason equals 122. This town, San Bernardino, also seems to have many Masonic connections. San Bernardino has gematria of 62, just like the word Mason. The Masons are obsessed with the number 33. The 62nd day of our calendar is March 3rd. 3/3 is the 62nd day of the calendar. The shooting happened at the Inland Regional Center at the streets provided. That has gematria of 101, like the word assassin. They're saying this armed gunman showed up and assassinated innocent people. I also noticed that there's a lot of 200 reporting in this. 20 victims. Inland Regional Center also equals 200. They're saying 200,000 people live in the city. Sometimes the things could be a coincidence, but they really do like to report these numerological patterns. Also, that cover shot that we looked at, I noticed how on the back of the police car, 707 was there. Remember, 0 doesn't count in numerology, so it just breaks down to 77. Police department equals 77. Police officer equals 77. The last shooting hoax was in Colorado Springs, which has gematria of 77. Remember, Lieutenant Catherine Buckley, the police spokesperson, she had name gematria of 77. Planned Parenthood breaks down to 77. This might just be a little tribute to the police and also the last reported shooting hoax. Also, as I so often say, Heavy.com always has all these details right away from the minute the story breaks. Heavy.com right away said 12 people killed. CNN, MSNBC, they didn't have this information at the time, but somehow Heavy.com did. The tweets at 11:40 dropped the 0114, the number we started with. The headlines, how many days since the birthday. Heavy.com had all the facts before anyone else, and somehow they often do. Heavy.com, definitely part of the propaganda. And here's my favorite detail from the Heavy.com article, their fifth fact. There is a Planned Parenthood located less than 2 miles from the building. Har har, who are they kidding? Planned Parenthood, also something the 114th Congress has been doing a lot of debating over. Major political points right now. Also, oftentimes there's active shooter drills in close proximity to these hoaxes. That was true of the Planned Parenthood. In this case, the connection's a little bit looser. This could be a coincidence. There was a high school active shooter drill at the beginning of this year, January 29th, 2015, exactly 44 weeks ago. 44 stands out to me because that's the kill number. Officer has a gematria of 44. Kill has a gematria of 44. Could be a coincidence, but at the same time, it shows that this is a community that's invested in this kind of stuff. It makes me wonder what other high schools are doing stuff like this. Talk about psychological programming, teaching the youth of the nation that, we have to be prepared for these active shooters. They could pop up anywhere. When really it's just a media boogeyman, a scare tactic for part of an agenda against the people. But this is what it's all about: psychological programming, cultural conditioning. So that pretty much covers the facts that I have for right now. I'm telling you, these streets, the gematria of the streets, they're the giveaway. They're the giveaway. This is how they plan the hoaxes, by their numbers, their favorite numbers, the Freemason numbers, the conspiracy numbers. In case you've never seen my work before, you can do this search yourself. Look at this. Just type in Freemason police badge. They'll pop right up. The Freemasons are very much controlled, or the police are very much controlled by the Freemasons in this nation who abide by this gematria code, this numerological coding. All sorts of officers in this nation, all 50 states, wear patches and badges that bear the Freemason emblem. Remember, G in Francis Bacon gematria is 33, just like how Freemason is 122 in Francis Bacon gematria. The word police has a gematria of 33. No coincidence. The police have always been controlled by the Freemasons. The Freemasons have been building this world around us. The police are not here to protect us. They're here to protect the powers that be. And in fact, they are a threat to we the people. You're listening to the voice of someone who was burglarized and harassed by his local police department. And why? Because I'm out exposing what they're doing. What happened to me came shortly after I exposed the shooting hoax at Marysville High School in Washington State, which is very close to my house. Just weeks after that, my home was burglarized. I had the police harassing me. Before you knew it, I was in jail with the gray and white stripes and the orange sandals. So, very real threat out here. If you want to deny the truth, you are part of the problem. You are part of the reason this nation's being sold out. If you have children and you're denying the truth, you are selling your children out. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time. Also, if more details come out, I will be sure to cover those as well. Just know this is another hoax.